Hi everyone, happy Sunday evening. This is Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created. And in this video tonight, we are going to take the time to put together this really fun haunted home decor piece for the upcoming Halloween season. What you're going to get in the kit are all of the pieces that you need to create this box exactly as you see it. This box is approximately 8 inches wide by 6 inches, okay, or 6.5 inches. And then from the tallest peak on the house to the base, it's about 9 inches, okay? So you've got all this decoration on the front, you've got 2 solid sides, and then you've got your piece here on the back, okay? And as you can see, some of it I like personally that I didn't put the whole thing together because I wanted to be able to move this around and protect my little bats that are on the top of this, okay? So I did not adhere this final piece. It does stand in place nicely when it is all together, okay? So once you're all done too, one of the fun things that you can do is you can take I like battery operated tea lights. This one's actually a little bit bigger than a tea light, but I love it because it's what's going to give that light, if you see here, all the way up to the top. So you could actually put a couple of them in there easily depending on how much light, and the size of the tea light is going to make a huge difference. So let's go ahead, let's look at the kit, and let's put it all together. So believe it or not, everything that you need is in this box right here. I will tell you that the instructions do show using a hot glue gun. I did not do that. And the only thing that I found with this kit is I wanted to have more sticky tape than what was provided in it. If you are going to be doing this as a craft project with children, of course a hot glue gun is not always the best to use. If you're personally going to be putting it together just yourself, then a hot glue gun would definitely add that little extra adhesive, that little extra stickiness that you want, so that it will be even that much more sturdy. But I'll show you the ways that I used the tear and tape to reinforce it just with tape. But again, I found that doing it the way that I did it, I needed a little bit more than what was in the kit. So you have some black dimensionals and you have some glue dots. You're going to want to keep those handy. In this package here, you have your tear and tape, so I'm going to put that right here. You have the coolest, sweetest little silver skull with rhinestone eyes, so put that someplace nice and safe. We'll put that right over here so that I have it. And then you have 3 wires, okay? So you're going to want those for your bats. I'll put those, I'll let them stick to my magnet. Of course, we save all of our little bags. Then you have pre-scored pieces, so you're going to want to lay out your pre-scored pieces so that you have all of those elements, kind of have them handy. Some of the windows aren't completely punched out, so the ones that aren't completely punched out, you're going to want to take a second to finish punching out those elements if all of yours are not punched out. Nice piece of chipboard you can save for future crafting. And then you're going to have some die cut elements. I punched all of mine out ahead of time and just kind of kept them in a little pile on the table as I was working. And there's no reason to save the little extra piece that comes with them. You've got your front door, you've got your banner piece, pumpkins, you've got your shutters, and I love how just easily everything does come right out of the spots that they're in. One of the other adhesives not included that I personally used on mine, just because they worked really well for me, was I used our seal adhesive on some of the paper items. You have your kind of crushed curry looking vellum. One has a chandelier, and then you have 5 that are all the same size. This is what's going to go into your windows, so that as the light comes through, you have that fun spooky look. So I'm just kind of getting all of this prepared. You have a little vellum spider web, a little vellum ghost. You have some heavy duty fence pieces. So get our fence pieces. This is actually the longest part of putting the house together I found when I made my first one today. And then this piece has 6 bats. Those are what's going to fly over your little haunted home. And then 2 tree pieces that have slots in them, and they'll slide together to make one tree when we're all done. Make sure I get all the bats because I'm going to need all 6 of them. Okay. And then the other thing that you have is you have full color pictorial step-by-step pictures. I'm going to show you a slight variation on the fence. You can see here in this photo where the fence can sit just kind of out on the outskirts of the house, creating the look of a yard, but I'll show you another different option for that. But here you're going to see the different steps as we go through it. So I'm going to keep that off to the side so I can glance at it as we go. Since I only put one together so far, here's an example of all those little pieces that are not punched out yet. So we're just going to punch them all out. And we might find another use for them because they do have that little print, kind of look like rocks or stones. But I personally am not saving them or trying to repurpose them or use them. But you could most definitely do that yourself if that's something that you were feeling artsy and creative over. Okay, so let's start first by putting our vellum in. And this is where I found using my seal just made it go a little bit quicker. So I'm just kind of going around the windows. And we're just gonna press that down on. Let me move some of this up here. Give us better view on the camera. On the tall piece, so you've got one that the 3 windows are straight across, and then you have one where they're staggered. This one that's up high is where your chandelier goes. And I just fixed it so that the hanging part was over the center beam of that window. So we have those 3. And now let's go ahead. And let's just put these other 3 on. And any of the extra sticky that's hanging around on the outside, I don't worry about it, okay? This is going to be the inside of that little box. So these aren't going to be touching anything, okay? If you don't want them to be sticky for whatever personal reason, simply take your Stampin' Emboss and pat it over the sticky area and it will de-stickify it. It won't be sticky anymore. But I didn't worry about it because, again, it was going to be on the inside of the box. So now what we need to do is we need to start putting our house together. So you want to reinforce all of your folds, kind of just giving them a nice fold. You could even use your bone folder if you wanted to. Again, anytime you have something that's pre-creased or pre-scored, the better the crispness is of the fold, the better that it goes together for you. So just kind of work that fold just a little bit. Just kind of get yourself a nice crisp fold. I find that it will stick flatter to the adhesives as well. When you look at the inside of the box, you can see all the different score lines that you just really kind of want to get in there and work. And I'm just going to kind of bend them back and forth a few different times. Just really, really getting them, again, to work for us. There's one more here. Okay, so this is the front, and we'll get to the back in just a second, and these are the sides. So we're gonna start by adding the 2 sides, then we'll come around and add the back, and then we'll add the roof. So you've got your 2 outside tabs here, and this is where you're going to use your tear and tape. If you only are working with tear and tape and you want to stretch it and make sure that it's going to cover, like you have enough from what comes in the kit, then you want to put just 1 piece on. And you want that piece that you're going to put on right up to the fold, okay? That's where you want the greatest grab, is in here at the fold. If you've got your own tear and tape at home and you're not worried about, you know, trying to stretch the one that came in the kit as far as possible, and you're only using tear and tape and not hot glue, then I like to coat it with 2 strips, okay? Also, any place I'm putting tear and tape is if you choose to use hot glue instead, that's where you would put your hot glue, is on those tabs. So, and you're gonna see it's gonna take just a bit longer to put this together on this video than it actually did in real life, because I wasn't talking my way through it, giving tips and explaining things. So it'll be just a bit longer assembling it here on video, because we're chatting together and we're learning together. So let's take our backing off. And so now I want to make sure that the bottom lines line up and that this is up in the corner. And again, we're just going to really press that into the adhesive. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Just kind of really get those lined up. We roll it over. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to press that into the tear and tape. Just kind of get a good grab, get a good stick there. So we've got that in there, okay? So this is what we have so far. Now we need to put the back side on. And again, we've got tabs to work and crease. And this is really heavy duty, guys. This is not cheap paper at all. It is really thick and really heavy duty. I don't know if I hold it up here, if you can see just how thick that is. It's very, very sturdy. Okay, so now we're gonna put our tear and tape along these lines. And remember, if you're only going to do 1 strip at all, make it the one closest to the crease if you're only going to do 1. I love, though, that the tabs are perfectly sized for 2 strips based on the width of Stampin' Up's tear and tape. I love that. If you're doing these with the grands or with your kids, obviously tear and tape is much friendlier to work with and to use. So let's just get our backings off here. I think that manicures should be a tax-deductible crafting expense for those of us that do crafting as a business, because I am able to take backings off so much easier when I have nails. Not fake nails, those are too thick, but when I at least let my nails grow and then have them taken care of. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing here for a second. We're gonna line this up, and we'll turn it over in a minute and give it a good rub. And then we're gonna bring this side together here as well. And we're just gonna really sink that. And I can take my pressing tool into the inside of it, just kind of press it all down. So now we have something that kind of looks like a crown in a way. We've got this kind of odd shape. Now, what's interesting is this piece here has these folds. The reason being is that it kind of forms like the front of the house, like a little wall. It's gonna pop like this. That's how you're gonna want that piece to be, okay? So that when you're looking at it from the top down, you have this bump out like this. This is where the roof pieces are going to sit on. It's gonna come in here on all of these tabs. So now we've got a ton of tear and tape to put on, and I'm just gonna work my way around with my tear and tape. Literally, the adhesive is the longest part of this. I think a glue gun plugged in and ready to go would definitely shorten what's happening. But it's really not a race. But always people wonder, like, oh, I don't have, an hour to put something together, but I do want to decorate and I want to create. The other thing is that you don't need any experience to create something like this. You just follow the instructions and it'll go together beautifully for you, because everything's pre-cut, pre-scored. Everything that you need to decorate it with is in the box, and you do have those full color step-by-step instructions. And I will give you a little teaser as you're watching me put tape on here for a second. Wait till you see how I changed it up. I will post a sample of that tomorrow morning for you, give you a little something to wake up to, because I'm not 100% finished with it, but I had, when I started playing, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder if we could do this to it kind of thought. So I'm so excited about the alternative for it as well. Trust me, don't order a kit yet tonight. Wait till you see tomorrow's, because you're going to want 2 kits, I promise you. So this is our roof. This little notched out piece goes to the front, okay, because it's going to slide in. This little piece here, this roof piece, fits in that notch. So let's go around real quick and peel off all of these little backings. Get it to stick. Then I've got 2 tips for you. I almost missed with some of the embellishments that go on here, the decorations that they gave you. Because I was like, why does that look like that? And it's the simplest little thing, and if you really had looked at the paper itself, it would have made sense, but I'm not always a good direction reader. Sometimes I think I should know how it goes together, and then that thinking I should know comes back to bite me. Anybody else have trouble sometimes following directions or reading the instruction manual? Please tell me I'm not the only one. It doesn't help that I absolutely love jigsaw puzzles. I love to put puzzles together. So something like this kind of feels like a jigsaw puzzle for me. Almost done. You guys are hanging in there. This is the hardest, longest part, is this. And you can see where hot glue would definitely go a little quicker. The one thing is, if you were using hot glue, I would find it a little bit challenging on the roof, just because you kind of want to set the roof down almost all at once on this, and glue dries pretty quickly sometimes. So if I hold this box, I'm going to turn it up on its side like this, we form a point. And that's what I want. I want that point, and I want the point of this to lay in there. So I want to put this roof on, and I want to get the points up in there, and then we'll tuck this house piece in here. So we're going to have that. And then it should lay down and go together over here as well. And I found when I was working with it that coming inside and helping to pull the tabs in, especially on the front of the house, so coming in here and grabbing those tabs and making sure that they were secure down, really helped make a difference. And then one other thing that I did with mine, using only tear and tape again, which is why I found I needed extra, and I'll put these in real quick and then you'll see what I did here in a minute. Let me just stretch it across. It's kind of hard on camera, but you'll totally understand it in a minute when you look inside the house, when I tip it for you. Okay, so I just put strips across to reinforce those tabs on the inside of the box. And you don't have to peel the backing off doing this. And of course you could use any other tape that you had. It's not part of the instructions, but I just wanted it to be a little bit sturdier. And especially, you know, depending on if you're going to be traveling with it for displays, using it, doing things like that. So here's the front of the house. Again, we've got our sides. There's the inside and the back. So now we need to put the little overhang roof on. And again, we're going to work our folds. And this is our last bit of tear and tape. So you've got these folds, you've got this piece comes to here, and this piece comes to here, and you have something that looks like a little slot, okay? something might roll down. So this is our last little bit of tear and tape. Thanks for hanging in there as we peeled off how many backings. I'm sure you could probably also use liquid glue, but this has kind of a coated finish on it, and while the liquid glue will dry, it will slide around until it dries because of this coated finish on it. And then everybody always has their own absolute favorite type of adhesive. So if you've got something that you know that really holds crafts together, of course, always use what's in your stash. You know, that's why it's there, because you know you like it and you use it, right? Okay, so we're gonna bring this in, press it in real good, and just kind of give that little rub again. I just like to really embed that adhesive. Just kind of press it in good. Okay, so now we want to decorate our little, let's say the word, Janet, our little decoration here. So that's how that would go on there. Let's pull this off for just a second. And we're gonna grab this paper piece here. And this again is where I found working with Seal was great. You could use their glue dots if you wanted to. You could use hot glue again, whatever works for you. Now you've got to pay attention to which way this goes on. So you may want to put it in to make sure you're getting it on the right way. This goes to the edge. And then this kind of bend this forward just a little bit so it's standing up. Okay, so normally it's flat. You're going to bend it just a little bit so that now it's got that little dimension to it. And I missed a step. Totally missed a step. It's okay, we can back up. We can make it still work. It's still totally possible. So you've got 6 bats. Okay, and I found that this step worked really well with the glue dots. Gonna put 1 glue dot on the body, put your little wire down on the bat. We're gonna match up the wings. You need to match them up. Put another glue dot on the other bat. So what we're doing is we're sandwiching the wire between 2 bats. And again, I'm just using the glue dots that are included in the kit. If you're a crafter and have other types of adhesives, liquid glue, whatever, use that. But I wanted just to kind of show you what's in the kit and using what's in the kit. And I found that these worked. And the chunky part of the arm. Good, Janet. Because now it's going to be contrary. Okay, so we did that one backwards, so it's okay. Got 2 left. Put that one down. And just making sure I get them the right way. Okay. One thing that's nice about these kits, with the exception of the tear and tape, in this kit in particular, I find that the kits usually have extra dimensionals, extra glue dots. If you're crafting with Stampin' Up's kits, you will never have to buy dimensionals again, I promise you, because there's always so many. They're always extremely generous. And the same with the glue dots that are in there. Okay, so now you have your bats, and where those bats were supposed to go that I didn't, this side here that I glued down, okay, the wires technically should have gone in that little spot, but you can still kind of shove them down if you forgot like I did. So we're gonna shove them down. And you know what's really sad, when I put the first sample together that I showed you guys on the video, I forgot then too, so you think I would have remembered this time around. So that's how I know you can shove them in, because I've done it once already that way. Sometimes we don't learn, do we? Okay, and one more, and we can adjust them lengthwise, height-wise, bending them, getting them to bobble, but just kind of push that in through, and there's there's our little bats hanging out on top of the roof. So we're gonna leave it like that, and we're gonna add some more decorations. We have our front door. I'm gonna bring that all the way to the bottom. And then you have a little skeleton door knocker. And remember that really cool silver skull? We're gonna just put that over top of the door knocker that's there. So you've got that really cool silver door knocker. Then you have this piece here. There are little folds here, guys, okay? So we're just gonna grab a glue dot and another one. So I put on the tabs here, I've put glue dots. And I'm gonna press those up here under this eave. And this was the part where I hadn't folded where those folds were. So my banner was holding out straight, it wasn't hanging down. So I needed to fold those tabs down. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Let's put our kitty on and our spider. And these dimensionals are black. In our catalog, we have many black dimensionals, but I've never seen any large black dimensionals. So maybe that's a sign of some things coming our way. We have our pumpkins. And I'm going to take just a little piece from the edge over here for my spider. You can cut the dimensional down if you want, but you can also use the edge like I just did. Waste not anything, right? And we'll put our little spider on. For the ghost, I simply used one glue dot behind the big O of the mouth, and it doesn't show through. So we're gonna put our ghost on. And then the last piece, again, your spider web has a crease just like the banner did, and that's where, again, mine were sticking straight out because I didn't do the crease part. So you're gonna fold that crease, make sure you've got that crease happening, give it a good score, and push it back. And now you can use your glue dots, you can use any glue that you want, but we're gonna use the glue dots because they're here. I thought the spider web and the banner were such clever little touches. So we've got that. And we're gonna press that up into the other eave. And again, that fold is what it allows it to hang straight down. Now, the only other thing that we haven't put on this house yet, and I'm not gonna make you go through, you know, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm not gonna make you put all 12 on and watch me do that, but you do have your shutters. And you're gonna wanna put your shutters on the windows. Because, you know, we've got these old school windows happening. So you have your shutters. What I want to do is take a minute of your time kind of to show you the variation. So the fence is actually self-standing. Okay, so let's find the crease here. And the fence piece will stand by itself just like that. So what I chose to do and you're not going to be able to see the adhesive. If you're worried about your adhesive, if your tear and tape's too wide for this, then use something else. The reason why the adhesive's not going to show is I'm going to use my finger to push it down in the open areas. Okay, but I just wanted that stick from tear and tape, so we're just going to squish that tear and tape down. And then what I did was I just hooked it to the side of the house so that it's coming out in the front. Okay, and you can decide how much you want to adhere to the side of the house, how far out you want that to come. But I went ahead and adhered mine to the house so that it's not falling over and I didn't need as much table space or counter space. And then I just made sure that the one that I adhered on this side works as well. So that's how I modified mine, was by adhering it to the side, okay? And then one last piece you have to put together is you have your tree. there's a slot at the bottom and a slot at the top, and you're just going to slide the bottom piece over the one with the top slot. And it becomes self-standing. Now, this is another little option for you that works really well. Where this crease is, you can fold it and you can kind of put it into the fence, and you can actually have 2 trees, or you can adhere 1 tree standing up to it. So you can kind of decorate it how you would like it to be. But there was one thing I had to do to my tree because of where I live, and I'll show you my little addition to the tree, and then I'll give you another way to touch them up. So let me just get these guys intertwined. This is not supposed to be the hard part, they're just supposed to slide together. But it's got some nice cut branches. So there's your tree. But I live here in Louisiana, so my tree had to have some spooky Spanish moss. I have a love affair with Spanish moss. I was meant to live here in the South. I love the Spanish moss. And of course I would decorate it a whole lot nicer, but I've got the Spanish moss that's gonna drip and drape from mine. And then let's just tip this back up this way for just a second. Another very, very easy way to go ahead and embellish your house is with that Wink of Stella. So we can go in here and we can make our pumpkin sparkle. We can make our kitty cat sparkle. We could make our little, say the word, Janet, spider sparkle. We can even make our ghost sparkle if we want to. We could add sparkle to the windows if we wanted them to sparkle a little bit, or we could glisten. And the spider could actually be up here on the spider web as well. It doesn't have to be on the window. I just put it on the window because that's how they showcased it. And then again, when you add your candle inside of this, see if I can get the light showing now here. See if it's gonna show. Can you see it here in the bottom window? So different size candles. When I put this on display, I'm actually gonna have 3 candles. Can you see how orange that is? Isn't that cool how orange that is? So I'm gonna have, happen to have these left over from my daughter's wedding in 2015. We used battery operated candles at the reception. And I happen to have them in this pretty fall kind of coppery orange color. So I'm gonna put 3 in here, 2 on each side, and then I have a taller one that will go up here in the middle. So really, really easy, guys. Again, the overall dimensions, it is about 8 inches by 6.5 inches by 9 inches. So it doesn't look that tall when you're looking at it in pictures. And actually, when you say, for me anyway, when I say the numbers 8 inches by 6 inches by, it sounds tiny, but it's actually a really, really nice size, guys. Here you can see my hands on it, just so that you can see that. So that's our haunted home. I will go back in and I will put the code and everything, but trust me, don't rush to order it online tonight. Wait until you see the alternative idea because you're gonna want 2 kits. So I'll see you guys in the morning. And also just a little sneak peek for the week. Starting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, every night at 7, I have a video that's going to be posted to you. Each one of them is a little treat box idea. So if you like watching videos and learning how to make treat boxes, just a little advertisement for those videos Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 7 p.m. here on my Facebook page. But most importantly, tomorrow morning for the fun variation that I came up with this. Oh, glow lights or glow sticks would actually work as well too. Really, really good idea, Lena. For those of you that have glow sticks around, and glow sticks are readily available at most dollar stores and places like that. So yeah, absolutely a glow stick would work as well. I'm just real big on purposing what I happen to have here in the house, and I have a bunch of these from the reception because we put them on mantles, the bar, all of the tables. They were everywhere in all different sizes. So I just worked with what I had here. But thank you so much for that reminder, Lena. Absolutely, glow sticks would be a fun way. And depending on the type of candle, you're going to get a different look. If you've got a white candle in there, your windows are going to definitely be a lot brighter. This orange one kind of gives it that fiery, kind of more Halloween-y glow to me. So depending on the kind of candle you put in there, that will also change the look. So again, any questions at all about the project, let me know. I'm going to finish putting my shutters on before I do that. And then I'm finishing up the project for tomorrow morning's post. Thanks, guys.